and welcome to the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories, an initiative by ETH. I'm Ashwini Mishra, bringing to you conversations with business and IT leaders over a cup of chai as they share some interesting insights around their personal and professional journey over the years, their leadership traits, hobbies, and other such engaging topics. Joining me today is Sharads Sadadekar, Senior Vice President and Head Cybersecurity at a large life insurance company. Welcome, Sharad, on Cutting Chai Stories.
Thanks, Ashwini. It's a privilege and honor to be associated with all of you guys. Thank you once again.
It's a pleasure to host you, Sharad. Thank you so much for your time. Let's go back in time, Sharad, and if you could walk us through your childhood, your schooling, and lessons that you've learned early on, which have stayed with you till date. How different were you kids from your age, and were there any specific skills that you picked up as a child?
Yeah. Family and friends has always been a pillar of strength for me. Okay. We started off from a very humble background, and my parents have really struggled and worked hard to bring us up. So me and my brothers, two brothers, I'm the eldest one, and provide higher education. So that's the background I can talk about. When I look back, my dad and mom has always been a wonderful parents to all of us. They worked hard and provided us a stable foundation for our life and future. They taught us some invaluable lessons about marriage, parenting, and relationship. Some of them I'll share it with you.
Sure.
Three biggest lessons which I've learned from my parents and school has been stayed along with me for years now. Both my parents used to say appreciate teachers and value education. The ability to learn is a gift and not and also a responsibility. My parents taught us that if not all it's not easy to get education, and only the privileged got this opportunity.
True.
Others like us, okay, has to understand and create an environment and this opportunity. The second point is about my dad. He always respected time. Discipline was his virtue. So he used to say that if you respect time, time will respect you. My dad was very punctual at work, and he used to plan activities in advance, and he used to be wherever you want to go, he used to be before time, at least 10 to 15 minutes before time. He used to always say that it's better to be early and be ready rather than rushing at the last moment. So you will find me that I've been up on time here today also. So it's a habit developed over a period of time. Okay, it's not that. And the third biggest point which I've learned is, and that's probably watching the school teachers and also my parents at times, hard things will always remain. Okay, things don't get easier by putting them off. So putting things off or delaying things only make it that difficult or worse at the later stage because you have lesser time in hand. So that's the lesson what I wanted to share with you about my parents and my schooling.
Very valuable and priceless lessons, Sharad. And if you tend to follow them, I guess there are a lot of things that are in very much placed in a proper way. If we speak of our daily lives on that front. Any instances that you recall from your school or college days? Any instances that have left an lasting memory with you?
Yeah. So basically, I would like to quote some instances also, and before that, I would like to quote Amir Khan's movie Three Idiots. Okay, so where he used to say, try and gain knowledge from all possible sources from anywhere, and excel in whatever you do. So basically, success is a byproduct. Don't run after success. So this is one of the quote which I do practice, and I try to learn from people around me. I keep on learning a lot from my daughter also. So that is one aspect. Second is, in my earlier days, I have seen my mom struggle a lot since she had very limited resources. She used to always make the best out of everything. So We used to have a bhaji. Used to have a big family, joint family, and the vegetables bhaji we call it. It was very costly. So she used to put potatoes into it. So and over years, I loved potato into
Potatoes.
in vegetables. But
Okay.
I never used to think that potato was cheaper. That's why she was mixing. But I learned it over a period of time. What I learned from this is stop trying to find your passion. Rather, do things with passion. Just enjoy life, relax, and be sport. You don't need a dream job or a $1 million job. Do things as it comes. So that is the second lesson. And third is what I have understood over a period of time is looking at the mentors, people around me, and all. Great mentors normally focus on the should focus on the whole person rather than focusing on their careers. I've seen that mentors or influencers just focus on certain aspects of people. I think it's not correct. By mentoring the whole and not limiting to conversation of careers, it will create a greater impact on that person, and also it will create a greater impact in coming years also. So that will be remembered. Now, about my instance, which I want to share, the schooling time. This happened during my annual day when I was in 10th. I was randomly called on the stage, okay,
Right.
and a question was thrown at me. What would you like to be? Okay, and I paused and said, engineer. That was the obvious answer. Immediately, I thought that was over, but immediately the second question came, which engineering field? I was not prepared for it, but that time the second obvious answer was electronics, right? And I told them electronics. Uh, so from that day, I became very, very conscious and was worried as to how this can happen. After a lot of struggle during my admission and hard study, I got a B in electronics, and that's had stayed with me for years now.
Right. Right.
So I am a engineering. I have an engineering degree, and I am also an MBA in information management,
Right.
and some
Very
more
interesting. Sharad,
certification along with it.
if you allow me to ask that same question to you today, what do you want to be? What would be your answer in that case?
Very good. If you ask, I'll answer that in my next this thing. So when you talk about obvious question is work-life balance, and also I'll talk something over there.
Right. So let's get it coming. Sharad. So yes, you've been in the security field for so long, and considering the pressures that you handle, and cyber security, handling security issues for a company is it's in itself a very key role for every security professional that way. How have you tried to balance that work life, and still have managed time for the family, and more so in the last year and last 15 months, Sharad. So we have seen that work from home has become the normal now. So, how easy is it to achieve that work-life balance, or is it more of a myth that we call, it doesn't exist?
Uh, Very difficult question. People have been struggling to find answers, but I did a little bit of introspection, and I'll try to uh, summarize it in some form and shape. What drives me is that there is so much to learn. Okay, I normally used to think that ye ho gaya khatam, and now there is nothing, right? So, but there is so much to learn, and also to share, mainly about the principles of life and life principles. So this is something I do practice. There are many great priceless principles that have changed the life of many people. Okay, priceless principles is something that someone discovers in their own life and realizes that it can be true for others, so they can use it. This is a
Oh,
journey. Okay, basically, this is a journey of priceless life principle which I have written about. my life, and I also wanted to share this, and in real life, how to find a purpose to our life and be purposeful. So that's about my principles of life. So I would like to share some of them if you allow me.
Sure, please, Sharad.
Yeah.
Would love to hear that from you.
Okay. So the first principle of life is a coffee. Okay, that's the name I have given. You have heard about stress and anxiety, which you spoke about, right?
Right.
These are common experience. Okay. For most of the people around us, people leave jobs. Okay, due to high stress levels. I've seen people committing suicide also. But if you are living with high level of stress and then putting your entire well-being at risk,
Yes.
it's not worth it. Stress narrows the ability of also thinking rationally, clearly, and effectively, and doesn't allow you to that freedom to enjoy your life, right?
True.
So the question is, which you asked me, right? So what can be done, right? So let me tell you one of the story which I think is relevant here. There was a group of 8 people, friends, who had planned a visit to a college professor after around 15 years of college life. Okay.
Okay.
Initially, the discussion, they came here, they gathered. The initial discussion starting about their college life, obvious what they did, and then eventually they went to professional life, uh, the career path, and then family life also. And suddenly, after family, they just came to stress and anxiety at workplace and at home also.
Oh, right.
Now, right now, this is mostly common. If you see, this is a common phenomena around everyone. You can say not everyone, but most of them. Now, during this discussion, professor was just observing them, and then he asked him whether they would like to have coffee. Okay,
Right.
so all of them said yes. They are uh, anxious also and stressful. So coffee will give them some relaxation. So everyone said yes. Professor went inside, got coffee, and got coffees in different cups. Okay,
Okay.
there
Okay.
was some very good shaped cup. There was some very good costly cups. Okay, there was very transparent cups, and there was this pretty ordinary cup also. Okay,
Okay.
now he kept all this and kept it on the table, and he just observed. What happened was everyone had a coffee in their hand. Okay, and when the professor observed them, he found that everyone has taken the best of the cups.
Right.
Okay, he went to the professor went to the people and then interrupted them and told them, just observe yourself, observe the coffee. He told them that if you noticed, all of you have taken the expensive, good looking cups and you have left the ordinary cups. Everyone of you wanted the best cups, and that is the source of the stress and anxiety.
Anxiety. Oh,
What was
okay.
really wanted was coffee. Everyone wanted what? Coffee,
Coffee.
not the cup. But
Right.
still, what they went for? The best cup. So this is, if you look at it, if life is coffee, then job, money, status, love are all cups.
Right.
They are just tool to hold and contain life. Please don't let the cup drive you. Enjoy the coffee and you will find the necessary balance. So that was one of my principle and I stand by it. And I,
Very inspiring, Sharad. Very inspiring. I guess you have brilliantly captured and the story that you've shared. I guess that will resonate with most of our viewers. I'm sure.
yeah, but the only problem is how to implement and where to implement. They have to be very cautious about all this. Okay, and it's very simple. If you keep on doing it, It's like a cycle. Till the time you don't know, okay, to ride, you will always think, अरे इसको पेडल भी मारना है, ब्रेक भी लगाने है, सामने भी देखना है, सिग्नल भी देखना है, सब कुछ. But when you do it, it's obvious, right? It is a habit.
True.
So you have to make this a habit. And how you can make this habit is you have to keep on trying, doing things till it becomes a habit. Okay. Now let me give you a second example or second principle which I would like to quote. And this is, I think this also you will enjoy, and everyone does it basically. It's only that I have been telling you. Okay, go fly a kite. Okay, that's the name of the quote and my principle. This is my second principle. Okay, we all know, most of you know how kite flying is done, right?
Right.
You might have done it during the school days and early days in life, and most of them like it, right? You have spent money, pocket money on that. We all might have played with the kite, okay? And I keep on asking this question: what you do, means why you do it? So they always say we enjoy it. So what you enjoy? So basically, when it goes up, right? That is the answer I'm looking now. When they say when it goes up, so I ask them how it goes up. Then they tell me that you have to give some release the string, and you need to just allow it to go. People are very good. So all of them are doing it. Okay. Now after you do this, okay, what happens? बोलते हैं, will you allow them to release more string? So बोलते हैं, no. What will happen then? What will it stay there? What about the winds? What about the obstacles, the poles, the trees?
Right.
Maybe the string which you are carrying, right? Will it hold up? Now, all these questions are there. So when I ask them this question, what they say, yes, just after that they pull it back, or what they call is a teach key, or in my term, I call the touch key means reset, pull,
Reset.
or refresh.
Right.
Okay. Now they do all this, right? Something you have learned over a period, but you are not using it, right? So my only thing is you will enjoy when you let go things. So okay, you will enjoy if you allow them freedom. Okay, everyone allows, if you allow them space, they will prosper and also give you results. Okay, this has worked for me and some of my friends also, who have understood this art to fly the kite. The key is when and who should do it, so that one keeps directing and guiding through. So these were the few things which I wanted to talk. If you have kids, give them space. If you have a team, give them time to settle. Okay,
True.
but always let them know that you are there with them, and possibly have that hold to reset, align, refresh, and so that the kite journey is good and you also enjoy it. To find the balance, it's important that uh, to identify the state where you aspire to be, the state of enjoying the moment.
Very well, very nice analogy there, Sharad. And that's again a very good lesson. Something that I was thinking while you were speaking, Sharad, was it's also about balance. Balancing the good with the bad, balancing our needs with our wants, and also our passion and commitment. I guess that is also a great lesson that flying teaches us. Flying kites teaches us.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Yeah, you can learn a lot of things by flying a kite and also having a enjoying the coffee.
True, 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 true. Right. So you've spoken about the lessons that you have learned, Sharad. Right from your parents and watching life. Your examples on life is a coffee and fly a kite. No, are very very in depth, and there are great insights that we can all look up to. What are some of the leadership lessons that you personally follow? Within your team, how do you lead and inspire them?
Uh, yeah, I strongly believe, Ashwini, is tough situation don't last. Okay, but tough people will always do. So if someone has the right attitude and is ready to work hard, then things will be pretty simple for both of you. So it's important to build a good team who can stand with you during your crisis. So I prefer to keep things as simple as possible and try various principles of life. I told you a few of them. Few things which I do practice is give the newcomer, which I told you, give a newcomer time to settle down and
Right.
give them clear instruction on 2 3 areas so that they can focus. So that is one. Second is I always like to be more transparent to them. So if I get some information which is required to be shared, I do share immediately, and I keep on communicating that. I don't hold back to myself, saying that no, no, this if it is there with me, it is better. Third is give them a free hand to explore, learn, and also to fail. Okay, so that's very clear. But they have to learn quickly and find new mistakes. So I
Right.
don't mind failing, but I don't want them to fail on the same issues. Provide clarity on vision. If they know where they have to go, then they surely will find a way out. How to and how fast, that is they have to decide. The final one, provide them choice to work in any specific area, but with a caveat that they have to excel in whatever they
Whatever
have
they
to
do.
do. Okay, no choice there. So if I give a choice that if you want to work specific area, you better excel in that. Okay, so these are a few things I
Good
think
things.
I've been very clear, and also keep on practicing and sharing with others.
Right, right, right. Very interesting, Sharad. My next question to you is more relevant to your current role as head of cybersecurity. The last 15, 16 months has also been a force multiplier for attacks, and many in the industry termed the last year as the year of the cyber pandemic as well. We saw massive adoption of mass remote working, and we also saw multifold increase in data breaches. Uh, in many ways, a new set of security challenges was unleashed. What are your thoughts around work from home? And what are the challenges that you see and the risks that are associated with it?
Okay, so if you look at the scenario, the pandemic, all organization had very less time. Actually, everyone personally, I feel, had very less time to react. Leave aside the organization.
True. Yes.
So this has forced people to align to the change. Basically, it a new operating model. They may call it at work from home model. Okay, so this has brought along a bucket full of risk as well as opportunity. People only talk about risk, but I think it has also brought some opportunity, forcing the CISOs as well as CIOs to consider this new operating model. So let me give you a view of some of the risk. Okay, one, since it provided very less time and opportunity, BYOD has been a big risk with employees and outsourced partner. So they got their own devices. Now, when they get their own devices, this possibly lack security controls, protection for EDR, ransomware, and also was not ready for service availability or disrupt. And third is this systems were not patched, and you can't patch them over internet line. You know what internet bandwidth we have in India, right?
Yes.
So that's a common problem across. Then third was authentication. The policies were unsafe. Now, how to authenticate since they were outside the network? Okay. Then there was this remote access VPNs. People started using a normal VPN where the entity which was using a VPN becomes a network itself. So if there are any compromise on the machines, it can compromise the entire network. And the
Right.
final point is threat actors have increased, right? And they have started taking advantage of pandemic situation, trying to monetize during this cashless era. Now, these are some of the risks. Now, let's look at the opportunities. Okay, uh, there was an increased visibility of the board. Okay, in the
Right.
cyber security, and hence getting budgets was very simple. So if you turn around the tables, you would have got budget easily. Second point is organization was moving to cloud to increase their digital footprint. So we can use cloud native tools to protect our workloads. So some interesting stuff can be done there. Remote access, you can use VDIs or containerized platforms, right, to reduce the data leakage.
Right.
Since people also have accepted this new operating model, that is work from home and working remotely, change management has been very easy. So if you look at it, if you force same thing when pandemic was not there, it would have been a big challenge,
Big challenge. True.
a cultural shift, you can say. But now they can accept all this very easily. So it was very fairly easy to force compliance check, like putting NAC controls or multi-factor or face recognitions on users till the time the situation normalizes. So these are few opportunities which you can encash on. Organization who have quickly learned this and predicted this change have managed to cash on this opportunity. Those organizations who have not adapted the or improvise on the security posture are struggling to come up the curve. Okay, and you will find this by the number of attacks which are happening on such organizations. So
Right, right. Interesting insights, Sharad. There, so good that you touched upon the opportunities piece as well. Final question before we wind up, Sharad. What would be your advice to next generation of security leaders and your CISO peers? Any advice that you want to share with them?
yeah, basically, security, according to me, has been always a additional layer, and no one appreciates it because it causes inconvenience. Uh, but in the current digital world, it is a necessity at all times. So cybersecurity leaders has to inspire and influence to create a security culture and embed this in the business decisions and vice versa. So if you are able to do this, I think you have done almost 50% of your work, right? Second, I believe is data is the new soil. Preserve it, protect it, and cultivate it. Fortify and build mods around the crown jewels. You should know your crown jewels and just
Right,
protect them. Build capabilities to proactively detect and respond. Okay, test your plans. So it's not just putting a firewall or anything, but you also have to write down the recovery mechanism or rule books to, and also test. Fourth important point which I keep on doing is keep learning. This is the only thing which will give you a edge
it's
anywhere
true.
and everywhere. The final one is, I believe, is engage and contribute to building a better place. Okay, this we can do it together. Provide opportunity for startups and small players also, because they are the future, right? So it's important and also paramount to build confidence and trust in the fabric of digital operations so that there is a sustainable growth. That's what I wanted to tell the future leaders here. If they can imbibe some of this, understand this, I think there is a lot they can learn and do better for the
Right.
industry at large.
Right, right. Thank you so much, Sharad, for sharing your views and valuable insights, especially your insights around life as a coffee and a flyer kite. I truly stand inspired by those insights, and I hope our viewers also feel the same. It was a pleasure speaking with you on Cutting Chai Stories, Sharad. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashwini. A pleasure being here with Cutting Chai and the entire team here. Thank you once again.
Thank you.